Hey guys. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to post two videos today. The first one is obviously this one, and then the second one is going to be the how-to for the annotated bibliography that's due Friday. Please, please, please watch the video before you ask me a question, because I do think I answered most questions in the video. Okay, with that being said, so in regards to your annotated bibliography, you are looking for sources, okay, that that go with your paper. So you want to make sure that when you Google something, it's not just the first thing that pops up, which is typically going to end up being, what's it called? Wikipedia or something of the like. Okay, so why is this not working? Make sure that you are checking for credibility. Okay, you want to make sure that they're a credible source. They're not just some Joe Schmo who decided to write about your topic, because that means that they are most likely going to be biased. They don't have any professional expertise in there. Okay, so here is what you're going to do. All right, so to find sources, okay, aside from Googling, you could do a few things, and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to work together through this. This should not take that long, okay? However, if we were at school, I would dedicate an entire class to doing this, and guess what? I wouldn't be doing it. The librarian would do it, because I'm lazy, but I do know how to do it. Okay, so there's a few things you could do, all right? So the first one is google.com/scholar. Google Scholar works like a database, okay? So let's think. Somebody wants to write about hip hop. Okay. Now, evolution. Let's do evolution. Okay, so evolution of French rap music, hip hop culture. Okay, so these are going to be really good. JSTOR is an excellent database. Okay, that's something that's very literature based. So like I often used that when I was in college. When you do use Google Scholar though, try to make sure that you're not clicking on the link for a book, because I think it's going to try to get you to buy the book, versus like a PDF would be really good. So like right here would be a good one. Okay, so then we'll just do this, because why not? All right, so Henry Rhodes. So now I'd have to look up who the hell this guy is, because I don't know who he is, but judging by this title up here, Yale New Haven Teachers Institute, probably is pretty smart. So we'll do some Googling. Henry Rhodes. Is that his name? Henry A. Rhodes. And I spelled his name wrong. Oops. I'm getting some weird. Okay, so he developed some, that's interesting, New Haven public school system since '77. Okay, so it does show that he has some idea of what he's talking about, but he might not necessarily be an expert in rap music. Okay, however, this is still probably going to be a good source, because then when we scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see the bibliography. Okay, so then he has all of his work cited here, and that's really good because it shows that he gave credit to where it was due. Okay, so I hope you guys were able to see that. Okay, good. The next place that you can go to, okay, I'm going to get off of that real fast, is the library. Fun, right? So when you're on Union's homepage, okay, so if we go back to the homepage itself, you're going to go to resources, okay? Fucking stupid ass computer. Sorry. You scroll down, hit library. Okay, then over here on the left, you'll see databases. You'll click on databases. It might ask you to log in, but it should just be your regular login info. So the one I'm going to suggest is Academic Search Premier. It's also called EBSCOhost. Okay, so you'll click in that. I had already logged in, so. Okay, now same idea. All right, so we're gonna try hip hop And the biggest thing, let's just do hip hop for now. Let's see what comes up. Okay, now I want to do an advanced search because there were a lot of links that came up. So hip hop. Now, hip hop can also be something else. You'll see down here, it says or rap or hip hop with a hyphen. You're going to want to do that, okay? Because or means that it could be something else. So let's click that first one. And we also wanted to talk about the evolution, okay? The more terms that you put in, the better the search is going to be, okay? The more vague you are, the broader it's going to be. The less vague, the better sources that will pop up and, you know, accumulate for you. Okay, so we're going to do evolution or change or development or progression. That'll be a good one, okay? And then we search. So the first time that we searched, there were thousands, and now we have only 3,000. So this is good. Okay, now I guess we could probably put into this that we wanted United States. Sorry, bless you. Search. Did I already do that? No. Okay, so now look, that brought it down. That cut it down by almost half. I'm really bad at math, but that's okay. All right. So building critical classroom community. So that would be interesting. Social justice counseling, race, class, gender, and rhymes, hip hop as critical pedagogy. That means like the way that we're teaching. Okay, so when you play around with things, with the words, okay, and like what you're putting in, that's going to accumulate different sources, different responses, I guess. Okay, so just even when you're doing Google Scholar, you want to try to be as like narrow as you can, but don't be too narrow. I know that sounds really ass backwards and kind of confusing, but I'm sorry. Anyway, so I find that EBSCOhost is very helpful. And then of course you could always just Google stuff. But again, Wikipedia is not a source. It's a good place to look for, you know, like, oh, that's a good idea, but don't ever use it as a source. No. Okay, so it might, would a video be complete without me yawning? It might be a good place to, you know, get those ideas going and get the juices flowing, but don't use it. I'll cry. Please don't make me cry. Okay, so with that being said, stop this real fast. Okay, your annotated bibliography. Now, you need one primary source, okay, and 2 secondary sources. This is for your paper and the annotated bibliography. This is for both, okay, because it's the same thing. You're using these sources for the annotated bib for your research paper, okay? So a primary source, let's go over this. Bear with me. Let me just pull this up real fast, okay? It's in, what folder are you in? I hate that I have 1,000 folders. Here it is. Now I'm going to make sure that I have this posted under the modules. Okay, so let's do this real fast. Here we go. Primary sources, woohoo! I know, exciting, right? Okay, so primary source provides firsthand evidence or experience about something. Okay, so give examples. Speeches, autobiographies or memoirs, maps, pictures, government documents, newspapers, and then of course data, polls, and public opinions. Okay, then you have your secondary sources. They describe or interpret or analyze or whatever, dissect those primary sources. So an example of a primary source would be Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. It came right from him. And then a secondary source would be something analyzing that speech or something in a scholarly, whoa, shit, sorry. Okay, I apologize. And here's an example. So a magazine, a report, an encyclopedia, a dictionary, a documentary. I don't know why a dictionary would be a secondary source, but that's okay. The scholarly journal articles are what you're going to find either through Google Scholar or through EBSCOhost / Academic Search Premier. So don't let that throw you off, okay? So the next few slides are just, you know, like, what is it? You know, because if we were actually in class, we would do this little quiz together. Sad days. Okay, so let's go back to the whiteboard real fast. There it is. Okay, so 1 primary source, 2 secondary sources. Gosh, my circling is getting fantastic. Okay, they are for your research paper, so don't look for something that is not related to what you're writing about, right? Because you're just going to end up kind of screwing yourself a little bit. The point of doing this is so that you already know you have to read the sources, okay? And then you provide a summary and a very brief summary, about 1-2 sentences. And then you already know what it's about. My advice as you read through your sources is to highlight quotes that you think are going to be important that you might want to include, because then you don't got to read it a second time. You already have the quotes. Another thing that I like to do when I write papers, and obviously you don't have to do this because you're your own person and you do your papers the way you do them. I like to get all my quotes and put them on a piece of paper. And the way that I do it is, like, if I have one source, I'll put all of the quotes on one piece of paper and like paper clip those together. And I make sure that if it's like from a book, I put the page number because I don't feel like looking back through it to find it. And then when I go to write my paper, I'll look at the quotes and I'll build my paper off of the quotes that I'm putting in, instead of trying to start like from scratch and like, oh, I need to insert a quote here. It just seems easier. But you guys do it, do it how you're comfortable. That's just how I do it. Just, my little advice. Okay, so I think that's all I have for now. You have a rough draft due on Monday, but I will post that video on Friday. So let's not get too crazy here. I think that's about it. If you guys have questions, please reach out to me via smoke signal, email, group me, text message. I don't care. Okay, I'm here. I would say I'm bored, but I'm really not that bored. I'm just very busy. So if you have questions, just let me know. I'll have my office hours this Friday, so you guys can hop on then if you have questions then as well. I think other than that, that's all I got. So I will see you guys later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye, guys.